Hello, and welcome to Queen's Crafts by Bridget. I'm Bridget. Thank you for joining me today. Whether you're new here or you've been around since my very beginning, I truly appreciate you coming by and spending some time with me. Today I'm going to show you some macrame that I have completed for the wedding and my hand spun yarns that I have available. A couple of them are not available only because they were done specifically for myself, or they have another intended person in mind already. So we will start. If you are looking for me anywhere on the internet, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me at my Facebook group page, or you can find me at my email address. All will be linked down below in the description box. Since I do have some new people here, I thought there are two community things going on this channel that I have yet to talk about in a recent video, so I thought that I would share them with you here before I get into the rest of the video. The king and I are getting married on April the 20th of next year. We are having a very small and private ceremony, as neither one of us really have a lot in the way of close family or friends. Therefore, I have decided to put out a request. Now, there is absolutely no what do I want to say? You don't have to do it. It's on voluntary. There's no prizes. It's just, if you want to take part, I would absolutely love it if you did. If you do not or can't, I completely understand, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I understand that we all have busy lives, busy schedules, and things that we have on our already to make list. That being said, I have put out a request for my friends to make a flower for my wedding decor or bouquet, depending on where it fits in best. My very favorite flower is the daylily or the stargazer lily, and of course my favorite color is pink. That being said, now if you absolutely do not have the crochet skill level to do a lily that you would like, a rose is fine. Whatever flower is fine. And now, of course, my favorite color is pink, and the wedding colors are pink and gray, but flowers come in every color, so I'm not going to turn away or turn my nose down at something that is not the exact shade that is my favorite. So please feel free to participate in any manner in which you can. If you can't, however, I completely understand, and there is nothing wrong with that. Also, since the beginning of the year, and I do plan to continue this on to next year, I have been doing what is known as Stash Down 2023. Now, this is just a fun, no prizes. It's just, let's see what we can do. Basically, any project that you make out of stuff that you've had in your stash since prior to the beginning of the year counts as stashing down. Now, like last month, I had a king-size blanket, and over half the yarn in that blanket was from stash, so that counted towards my stash down. Now, I did not get to count all the yarn, unfortunately. I didn't have as much pink in my stash as I thought I did, so I had to make do and go pick up some yarn. It's not something I do a whole lot of, yarn buying, because my focus has switched into fiber and spinning it on my own rather than big box store yarns. But that being said, if you're a spinner and you have a bunch of fiber stash and you spin up a bunch of yarn, that is a completed project. Making the yarn is a completed project. Now, once you use the yarn, you can go, I don't care, count it again. Just saying. And like if you use fabric stash and you make a dress or a bag or a quilt or whatever and you want to count it, please take part. If you are a subscriber that does not put content out, you're more than welcome to reach out to me by the 4th of the month and say, hey, this is how much I got out of my stash and this is what it was. If you have a channel of your own, please feel free to join in at any time. Your video is due by the 5th of the month, but if you're out late, it's okay. If you put it out on the 1st, that's more than fine. I am not a strict blah, blah, blah. I give guidelines. And of course, if you go buy 10 hanks of yarn and today and make a blanket out of it tomorrow, you can't count that as stash down because it was in your stash for one day. It has to have been in your stash before the first of the year. All right. All that out of the way, guys. So this is we are having a witch's wedding. And part of that, we will be having a hand fasting ceremony. And at the end of the ceremony, we'll be jumping the broom. Now, I spun up some beautiful pink and some beautiful gray merino and decided to macrame them together to make the bind that will bind us together for the rest of our lives. It was a lot of fun. It only took me a night to do it, and I have plenty of yarn left over to put it in a project and make something special for me to wear or have around the house. I haven't decided yet. I keep going back and forth. Do I want something in the house that both of us can enjoy, or do I really, really want to make like a shrug? I haven't decided yet. More to come on that one. Now, I'm going to show you these ones here because these will not be part of what is available. There's going to be 3 of them. These first 2 are because the fiber was gifted from my friend Jude, aka Jade, aka Llamas and Pajamas. I will link her down below. She was very, very generous and sent me a box full of some wonderful cotton and wool yarns and some fiber, and I have spun up a little bit of this. This is what came in a fiber bat, and I believe this was from Pan's Gardens yarns. But that video is just a few videos ago. If you want to go back and check, I can actually link that down below in the description box as well. And then she sent me this absolutely gorgeous braid. And the braid turned out just stunning as well. It's got pinks and browns and reds and whites, and it's just yummy. So what I was thinking is I think I'm going to start the project in this and then trim it in this, just because this one is just a smidgen thicker than this one. So I was thinking about maybe starting the project and then finishing the project, but then I decided, no, this one's just a little bit more bulky and I don't want it to crunch in the middle. So I think I will use this one as the border and make something really lovely with that as well. I just finished washing and thwacking those last night, and then while I was chit-chatting it up with the girls last night, I had a very beautiful braid from the Crafty Housewives yarn, which I get every single month as a subscription, and I decided to break that braid down and do a fractal spin. And while I was chatting with the ladies, I got the spin completely done, and this is what was born. Now, again, this yarn here will not be available because it is earmarked for a very special lady. And hopefully when she gets it, she will love it so much that she shows it. But if she does not, that is more than fine as well. When I send Happy Mail, there's absolutely zero need to do a video, because I send it because I want to send it, not because I'm looking for the video. Now, I'm going to show you something. When I do my spins, like this one is a 2-ply, and this one is a 2-ply. And sometimes, I split the yarn, or I split the fiber, and I don't generally weigh it to make sure that it's even. I just split it by eyeball, kind of eyeball it. Okay, it looks pretty even to me. And I start spinning. Well, sometimes, well, all the time so far that I've done that, there's always been a little bit left on one bobbin when the first one bobbin runs out. Well, I have gotten some fairly decent sized minis out of doing that. This time, however, for this yarn, I got this itty bitty little mini. So very, very close to a dead even spin. And for this one, I got this itty bitty little mini. Isn't that cute? So much so that none of the orange even made it into here. I love it. It is just wonderful. And if you can hear her, that is, of course, Khaleesi putting her 2 cents in the background. She can hear Daddy outside working. And then we have this one here. Now, this might look familiar. This was part of the Stripes of Falling Leaves that got sent to Crystal over at Bago de Crochet. It was the cake yarn that I sent her. When I started to ply this yarn up, excuse me one moment. Sorry, I had to quiet her down. When I started to ply this up, I started on my bigger wheel because she has a much bigger bobbin. And unfortunately, my ogre decided to be an ogre. And I was not happy with the way that she was spinning, so I ceased and switched to another wheel, which ended up making me have 3 hanks or 4 hanks by the time I got completed. Unfortunately, I did not want to send with knots, but I also have not mastered binding one hank to the other without tying a knot. So I didn't want to put something in that wasn't going to hold 100% secure, so I just did it as I did. But this one is left over because it's beautiful. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with it. It's just not as nice as what I sent her. The twist is just not as nice. It's not as tight of a twist as I was getting with my other wheel. So that's why I did not include this in that. But this one would be available if someone were to want it. This is the only one I have over here that I actually hand dyed myself. The rest of them came in the colors that I'm going to show you. First we have this very luscious, lovely pink. I believe I did a 2-ply on that one. Yes, a 2-ply on this one. Now it is not quite, hold on, let me see if I can put my filter in. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's still a little blown out, but it's fairly true to color. It is a very shocking loud pink. I will show you, let's see, I'll show you the other pink ones I have. Now, this one is a sock yarn. And it also has glitters in it. See? Oh, there we go. And I did this one in a 2-ply, and it is a very nice thin yarn. Ooh. Yarn down, yarn down. And then these two are a set. I actually took 2 braids and put one on one bobbin, or half of each on each bobbin, and then plied the 2 together. And that turned out very, very lovely. That is just about right, too, for color. And then we have the triplets. Oof. There we go. Again, it's not quite as shocking as that, but it is pretty shocking. And That is, did I chain ply these? I think I did. Yes, and these are chain plied. Now this one is very funky. I was not a fan. I was trying some things. I don't like this yarn. It's bouncy, it's flouncy. One of my girlfriends really liked it. I thought about sending it to her, but I haven't because I really don't like this yarn. I really, really don't like this yarn, but I keep it because, well, then I remember the things that I did while I was doing this, that I don't like this yarn, so I probably won't be repeating those things. And this one, again, is a chain ply. Not one of my best yarns I've ever made, but it is pretty in the colors. It's very Americana, red, white, and blue all the way through. And a fairly thin spin, although it has some very thick spots. And this one here came from a bat as well. I don't usually spin from a bat. It is not something that I'm 100% comfortable with yet. I am getting better at it. And hopefully I will be making some of my own soon. And we'll have more practice with it. Oof, I left a loopy in that one. And here is another fun and funky one. Now this is a smaller hank. I think this one came from a bat as well. And then we have my various minis. This one, of course, came from the first very shocking pink one that I showed you. This one I gifted away to a friend. These two were part of Crystal's Spin, Crystal's yarn. This one was part of the wedding yarn, as was this one. This one here was some Malabrigo fiber that got twisted up with some metallic, and the wonderful Antoinette took this yarn and a braid from Thriss and Stitches and made a Bag-O-Day shawl with it. It turned out absolutely stunning. She has it posted on my Facebook group. If you guys want to see it, it's gorgeous. It doesn't look as purple as this in hers. It looks way pink with the pink metallic thread going through it. And then we got this itty bitty little mini. Isn't that cute? And then we got this one. And this was the very first acrylic yarn that I ever spun. I've only spun a couple, and I only do that for extremely special people. I am not a fan of acrylic yarn spinning. And then we have that one there. And that is what I have for yarn right now that is hand spun. I do have quite a bit of fiber that I plan on dyeing and spinning and everything else. I spun up some mohair as well last night. That was absolutely lovely. That was a gift from Miss Karen, and I'm going to have to send her a little message because I had so much fun spinning that mohair. I didn't think that it was going to be as easy as it was, and I will definitely be spinning more mohair in the future. All right, everybody, I'm going to hop on out of here so that I can get my things done, get this out to you, get some dinner made, spend some time with the king, and make all the bags. I will have some bags out to show you guys very, very soon. I do promise. There's been a shipping delay with some hardware that I wanted for the bags, so I needed to slow my roll and wait for those things to get in before I could make those bags and get them out to you. I will have them out hopefully within the next day or two. Until next time, I truly hope that you are crafting your happiness. And bye for now.